on Monday, October 20th, 2025 at 6:02 p.m. Call to order, roll call.
Alderman Hassan.
Here.
Alderwoman Eichmann.
Here.
Richard Budney is excused. Frank Presko.
Here.
Kathy Richard.
Here.
Kaylee Ireland.
Here.
Danielle Kenny.
Here.
And Hamaza Zuberi is not yet here.
That was citizen comment period, if we have any citizens that want to say anything. No? Citizen comment period closed. We'd like to welcome our new members. We have 2 new members. One is present tonight, Danielle Kenny. Did you want to introduce yourself and say a few words?
Sure. I'm Danielle Kenny, and I also sit on the Board of Review and was just looking to get more involved.
Wonderful. And you are a resident of District?
District 6.
Perfect. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
Then we will move on to approval of the minutes from September 15th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, approval of the minutes. Then we will move on to the 2026 benefit renewals.
We have here with us tonight Scott Fuller from USI. He is our broker, and he will be running through our renewal information, answering any questions that anyone has. So without further ado.
Yeah, it's on, but you just need to put it close to you.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. I'm not sure if you are all looking at your packet. The general consensus, or what I'm going to share tonight, is relatively good news compared to what we're seeing sort of around the macroeconomics of healthcare. First item is, and probably not the best place to start, but you guys are a partially self-funded health plan, which means you have a level of insurance, which is called stop loss for catastrophic claims. That's bullet point number 1. Typically, every year we go to market. We go to 14 to 16 carriers. I guess, narrowed down spreadsheet on that in terms of who we're actually competitive is in your packet. But at the end of the day, the recommendation is to renew with Symetra, your current carrier, and increase the specific deductible, which is the level at which insurance kicks in, from $100,000 to $110,000. By increasing that deductible, the savings is about $58,000 a year, which means you would need 6 claimants that were over $110,000 before that would be a losing proposition. And because of trend, medical trend, and how it increases this year, it's just under 10%. It's good to periodically look at that and move that up. Okay. We do have to make a change in one of the plan design features. It's mandated by IRS around your high deductible plan. That will need to go from a $3,300 deductible to $3,400. Again, that's a statutory change that has to be made. Along with that, because you have a HRA or health reimbursement arrangement that gives people an opportunity to mitigate the deductible under the health plan, that has to go up as well on an equivalent basis of what the high deductible health plan deductible goes up. So that's bullet point 3. The recommendation is to move to a plan design or a network that is a tiered network referred to as Nexus ACO. This is a very interesting thing. Roughly 84% of your population is already going to the Nexus ACO providers. And by moving to this plan design, we get about an 8% reduction in costs on that 84% of claims. That will allow us to keep next year's renewal at a no change. So we're not recommending any premium equivalent change or employee contribution increases. Next item is the third-party administrator. That's UMR. They've been the administrator for a number of years. They administer your health claims, the HRA, and handle COBRA services. Historically done a nice job, and recommendation is to stay with them. Your pharmacy benefit manager, which is uncoupled from the medical administrator, is a company called ServU. Again, you've been with them for a number of years. They've given a 3-year pricing renewal, which is actually a reduction compared to where you were in 2025, and that's also in the information in your packet. We're also recommending a couple of changes to that. One is moving to a biosimilar formulary. So people that are taking some very high-cost specialty medications will have an opportunity to pay less for them, and the city will pay less for them through this biosimilar advantage formulary. We also have talked about international sourcing, and we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get through here. Nice Healthcare has been a great benefit. That gives people an opportunity to access primary care, a number of services actually, at no cost, starting virtually, and then they will do in-home visits if necessary. That is going up $1 per member per month, or 2.6% in 2026. And as I already referenced, the total increase is expected to be a no change. It's actually a slight reduction, but our recommendation is to keep the premium equivalents where they're at. Any questions on the health plan?
Is a nice healthcare option, is that voluntary for employees?
Yeah, everybody has access to it, but whether or not they want to use it is completely up to them. There's no cost to them to use it, so it's a way to offset what they may have to pay under the plan for more acute type services, behavioral health, physical therapy, those types of things.
So the membership is then paid by the city?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Anything else on anything to do with the health component or pharmacy?
No, but I do have a request. Could you just move your mic over a little bit? Every so often you're like really loud, or like we could actually hear you really good, and then you drift away.
You have to have it right in,
You gotta
Right.
gotta have it really close.
Right.
like right in your face.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll keep going. The next item is dental insurance. Very similar to the health plan, that you have 2 dental options. One is a self-funded plan through Delta Dental. That again is, am I too far away? That again is we're recommending a no change either to the premium equivalents or the premiums. You have a second option, which is a fully insured plan through Care Plus, which is an HMO plan that very few people are on. That plan is actually going up by 10%, which is an approximate cost to the city of about $500 annually. Vision insurance, the recommendation is to remain with your current partner, VSP. They had a no change renewal as well with a 2-year rate guarantee, so no change there. The life and disability, we're actually recommending you make a change from your current partner to a company called NIS, which is endorsed through the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, that will allow us to reduce the rates by about 12% with a 5-year rate guarantee. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we're recommending no changes to the employee contributions for medical or the self-funded dental plan.
Any questions from the commission? And I may be pronouncing it wrong, so I apologize, but at 6:10 p.m. Hamza Zuberi joined us. So we have that in record. Thank you. It's a great savings for the life and disability insurance with the rates going down 12%. That's nice. Has there been any feedback from any city employees on any of this at all?
They have
Positive or
not been
negative?
provided anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll get open enrollment information around November 1st, once it's approved.
Right. But I mean, once the packet came out and people could see it online, did
I
anyone
have
have any?
not heard from anybody.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, if there's no additional questions, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All right, motion to approve the 2026 employee benefit insurance renewals is outlined, including health, dental, vision, life, long-term disability, and NICE healthcare plan adjustments. Authorize Director of Administration to finalize contracts and implement necessary updates to the employee handbook. Next, we will move on.
We didn't vote.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's important. Are you going to do a roll call or?
We don't usually, it's just usually a voice vote.
You say
All in, yeah, all in favor, aye.
aye.
Aye. I didn't know if it was roll call or not, my apologies. Thank you for your patience. Moving along to the City of Franklin's job description for accreditation coordinator for the police department. And we'll have the chief and assistant chief come up.
You're not going to want to use that one.
Just don't move that one. I don't know why it went wonky. I did turn it off.
Welcome, thanks for being here tonight.
Absolutely. All right, in front of you have a new job description for accreditation coordinator. The reason this kind of came to fruition is a little over a week ago, we received a grant award for accreditation, a federal grant. The 2-year grant. Captain Ireland put a great deal of work into that, and we're very happy to have received that. As part of that grant, there allows for wages for a full-time employee for 2 years. Accreditation is a very labor-intensive endeavor. The group that we're going to go through is Wisconsin Law Enforcement Accreditation Group, otherwise known as WILEAG. There's 262 standards that we have to meet. Again, it's a 2-year process, and you have to renew every 3 years. A lot of reasons for accreditation. Assesses the overall agency performance and service to the community. It guides agency to current best practices and identifies problem areas or deficiencies in policies and potential areas of liability. I'm not sure what type of questions you might have about the coordinator. A goal would be, after the 2 years of federal funding, is to possibly come back and make this a accreditation coordinator / open records. The reason for that is the workload falls a little bit after that initial accreditation, but it still requires a lot of input throughout the year. So we definitely have a need for some open records help. I know we've put in for that position for several years now, and unfortunately hasn't been funded at this point. So right now it's strictly an accreditation coordinator. Again, that is a definite full-time job for the next 2 years. Again, all federally funded at that point, or at this point. I don't know if you have any specific questions about the job description or duties.
I got a question.
Yeah.
With all the different reductions in federal funding, is this a program that has been safe, so to speak? Or?
Obviously, the culture changes daily, but as of right now, it was just awarded to us not this past Friday, but the previous Friday. And of course, if I didn't say it, this is subject to council approval tomorrow night. But it is fully funded, no matching funds required. So I'm very hopeful that it will pass tomorrow. But there is obviously no guarantees in life, but it's safe at this point.
Okay. But it's not under one of the reductions that have been...
Not as far as we're aware of.
Okay.
Good question.
I actually have a question. So is this, I mean, I read through this last night. So is this something that is going to have to be like an officer to know all this detailed information?
That's a good question. It does not have to be. In fact, this is not a sworn position.
Okay.
This is essentially going to be kind of I'll call it like a team quarterback. They're compiling all the information, but they're not the coach.
Okay.
We're kind of the coach as administration, but this is actually, there's so many metrics in here that it'll be the whole entire department, from how you finance things to literally the entire department top to bottom. There's not a part of the department this won't touch. So they're just the compiler, because it's a huge undertaking, but very important.
Yeah, it sounded like it was pretty involved. So
It's very
I'd like
involved.
So they just are gathering information you all already have, correct?
In some instances, yes. In some, we'll have to create it. But again, they're
Okay.
just going to compile it, because Wiley gives you a whole list of things that have to be done. And they're essentially going to check off, yes, we've accomplished that. No, we haven't. There's community engagement where they might set up meetings, surveys and such. So again, they're just going to be that minimizes their role. It's a huge role. But again, they're not going to have to generate the thought or the idea. They're just going to say, you don't have this or you don't have that, so that when the auditors come in, we're in good shape.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
it is not a sworn position.
Who currently does the open record request for the P?
Right now, we have a dispatcher that serves in that role. We don't have a purely records clerk. We're one of really the only agencies around here that's the situation. So
And I'm sure it changes from time to time, but approximately how many open records requests do you receive a month?
I
Does it
would,
vary pretty
I
much?
would, it varies. Yeah, I couldn't tell you right offhand.
So the dispatcher, in addition to their normal job, fills in to kind of do...
Currently, we had the job description is, I believe, dispatcher clerk
Oh, okay.
is that their technical job description. So that one particular person, we pretty much remove them from dispatch on most days, and they serve in that clerk role.
Okay.
But they do fill in dispatch to keep them both proficient, and we do have staffing challenges there as well. So they kind of play a dual role.
I knew that. That's why I was curious how that quite played out.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
challenge right now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Any, with Danielle?
I have a question. So with this grant, then the person you hire for 2 years would be an employee of the city? Is that how it works?
Correct.
And does the grant cover benefits and like the whole package of their employment?
Yes, wages and benefits.
Good. Thank you, Captain Ireland, for your work once again on an excellent grant. So, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we will move on to the staffing report.
Just a little bit to add on here. I did mention at our last meeting that we had an opening in our fire department, but I forgot to add that onto the sheet this month. So we do have an opening for a firefighter paramedic. Since the last meeting, we did start one dispatcher about 10 days ago. We have 2 more dispatchers that are just getting through the final background stage and should be starting within the next couple weeks. We also have an accepted offer out to a light equipment operator And we have a police officer that is coming in on Thursday to be approved to start soon. The majority of the other positions are currently on hold to fill until the budget gets approved and we find out if we can fill those positions. So the only other position that we're really looking to interview or fill right now is the city attorney position, and we are starting to interview for that on Wednesday, I believe.
Okay, that was going to be my question, is the last meeting that we had, there's a suggestion to start interviewing some of the resumes that you've received. Have you received more resumes since our last
I
meeting?
think just the one that we have coming in on Wednesday was the only new one that we've received.
And can we ask their qualifications? I know we went over in our last meeting some of the qualifications of the other resumes, or how much, or where they're coming from, or
Can't say where they're coming from yet,
yeah.
because he obviously wouldn't want his employer to know, but it is somebody that has municipal experience.
Okay, I guess not necessarily their employer or what law firm, but an area of law, I should have said.
Yeah.
Do they have municipal experience?
Yes.
They do.
They are currently a city attorney.
That's great. Any questions from the commission?
I just have one. Are we, I know you prefer, I guess I'll say we prefer for them to have experience with the municipality, but are we interviewing any that don't, or no?
We have not had a chance to go through the rest of the applications and decide who else we're going to call in yet.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
but they're like still going to get a look, I guess
Yes.
is what I'm asking. Okay, thank you.
We have to sit down and talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to sit down and talk about it because we haven't had a chance, but I did put a list together of people I'd like to talk with and why I'd like to talk with them.
Okay, sounds good, thank you.
Do we feel like the bump in pay made a difference at all? Would it give us like one more applicant?
I think it's too early to tell.
How long has it been in place? Since that meeting? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
It was changed the next morning, so, yeah.
Any additional questions?
No, I'm good, thank you.
All right. Then we will move on to future agenda items.
We have the one item open that we owe you language on that we talked about last month at the sick leave. That has not been put together yet, so that'll come back at a future meeting.
Okay. And then our next scheduled meeting date will be November 17th or December 15th?
Yes, at this point, we do not know if we will have anything for a November 17th meeting. Kelly's going to be out for a little while. I'm having eye surgery the week before the next meeting, so I don't know if I'll be here for sure. So unless there's something pressing for the next meeting, there may not be a November meeting.
All right. And then do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right. We are adjourned at 6:25 p.m.